What's happening, everyone? My name is James Lynch, and this is my UFC White House, UFC Freedom 250 post-fight show. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you guys have any questions, post them in the chat. This will mainly be a Q&A, but I obviously will have time to recap all the fights because we didn't have that many going on tonight. But before I do that, make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit that notification bell. If you want to get your questions right on air, you got to subscribe to the channel. That's how we do it. Apologies for the voice. I had some coaching this weekend, hockey, so my voice is a little raspy, but I did not smoke 20 packs of cigarettes before this one. Let's quickly first, before I get into your questions, as we let some people sort of settle in here, let's get to the results of this card. I'll just give my quick take on every fight that happened on this event. Let's start first with the main event. One of the biggest upsets in UFC history. Justin Gaethje finishing Ilia Topuria. Topuria's not able to come out in the fifth round. I don't think anyone saw this coming. Look, like if you pick Gaethje, I get it. You know, I think people thought if Gaethje was going to win, it would most likely be a, catching Topuria, that type of thing. Maybe a picked him decision, but just the way this whole fight unfolded, very unexpected, and huge marks to Justin Gaethje, still getting it done late in his career, getting it done. You could just kind of see early on that Gaethje had something for Topuria, and early on you could see Topuria kind of getting worn down a little bit. But I will say that second round, and I talked about it on my live stream, if you guys missed it here tonight, I think Topuria had a big missed opportunity in that second round, not finishing Gaethje when he had him on his back. And I think he, instead of going for the submission, maybe trying to do a TKO finish there, I think that might have been the best path. But either way, full marks to Justin Gaethje. What were the strikes in this one? Because I think they said it was like 100 and something. Let's go have a quick look at what the overall strikes were for that one. It was just an insane fight. So yeah, you see overall significant strikes. Topuria actually landed more, 97 and 91, but Gaethje getting 91 himself. 192 total strikes here for Gaethje, 162. Pretty incredible. Topuria getting one takedown. Gaethje going 0-5 on the takedowns. But this was just an incredible fight. What a way to cap off the White House event, having an American winning the UFC title. Pretty incredible. We can talk more about it in a second there, but that is the main event. It is Justin Gaethje taking out Ilia Topuria. Huge upset in the main event. Co-main event. This fight was very close on the betting odds going in. You can see Pereira about a slight favorite in this one, but it didn't look like it in this fight. I thought Ciryl Gane looked great. He looked faster. He was landing better. And to go out there and knock out Alex Pereira, what a statement that was. Again, I know Pereira's moving up a weight class, but I thought this was a very good performance here from Ciryl Gane, showing that he is a top heavyweight in this weight class. I think, he's going to be favored if and when he does fight Aspinall again. This was just a huge win, a statement win, to go out there and just dominate Pereira the way he did. And I'm actually kind of curious at the strike count on that one too. 54-12. Jesus, what a beatdown. So Ciryl Gane gets it done, knocking him out. I like the fact that Gane went in for the kill, and he looked so aggressive in this fight. And to me, this is a very dangerous Ciryl Gane going forward. So huge win there for Gane. Sean O'Malley, Eamon Zahabi. Zahabi was having some success in this fight with the leg kicks, but I kind of predicted this one to a T. I said this was a very good style matchup here for O'Malley. Zahabi has not fought a guy with the type of power that O'Malley has. O'Malley finally gets that TKO win. He hasn't had a stoppage win like this since the Aljamain Sterling fight. Huge victory here for O'Malley. He might leapfrog Merab and get the title shot with that performance, but looked like a minus 470 favorite. Very big win there for O'Malley. Josh Hokett getting the finish over Derek Lewis. A bit of a sloppy fight, but this, I think, spoke more about Derek Lewis's decline than Josh Hokett's abilities. I think Josh is a great heavyweight, but some of the stuff he was, throwing and shooting and all that, you're not going to get away with that against, fresher heavyweights. And I think it's time for Derek Lewis to hang him up here with this performance. I thought Hokett, very impressive, going out there and getting it done. Again, a good performance. 64 days in between fights between the Curtis Blades win and this one. Hokett, we'll see what's next. But I think with Pereira losing, I think he set that fight up. I don't think Pereira's going back to 205, but we'll see. This was the easiest fight to pick on the card. Mauricio Rufy dominating Michael Chandler, finishing him in the first round. There's not much really to say about this. He was a minus 600 favorite, biggest favorite on the card, and he certainly looked like it here, taking out Chandler. Chandler's another guy who I think needs to hang them up. Rufy, big win here. Wouldn't mind seeing a Rufy and what was the fight I thought of tonight? Him and a Dan Hooker fight would be fun. You could even do him and Oliveira. I'd be fine with that too. I know Oliveira's a little bit further ahead in the rankings, but there's a lot of good fights for Rufy ahead. Good win there. Bo Nickel, I'll give him his flowers. I thought he looked great tonight against Kyle Daukaus. I had some worries about Daukaus' aggressiveness, but Nickel ends up getting it done in this one. How about Bo Nickel and Israel Adesanya next? I know I got some flack for posting this, but Adesanya is not a guy I think we see as a contender in the weight class anymore. You might as well get some name value out of him. I think Nickel, Adesanya is fine. I saw some people say it's too much of a step up. I don't know about that. Adesanya's on a huge losing streak right now. Bo Nickel, I think needs to get a step up in competition. If not him, maybe do like a Gregory Rodriguez or Roman Dolidze, but big win there for Nickel. He gets the finish in this one in the first round. And opening the card, Diego Lopez, Steve Garcia, fairly even sort of early on in the fight. I thought Garcia had a lot of success in that first round, but Lopez ends up getting the finish. Just looked a bit of a step ahead there. Garcia actually outlanding him significantly, 47-24, but it is Diego Lopez who gets the win here. He's a top fighter in the weight class. And I think one of the concerns I had with Garcia, and it was kind of proven tonight, Garcia just hasn't fought the best opposition going into this one. I think Lopez proved he's a top guy in the weight class. So that's my thoughts on the card as quickly as I can get. Let's get to your questions, see what you guys have to say, and let's listen to the people here. Okay, let's start out. We've got Gaethje quite literally beat Ilia black and blue. That he did. Very impressive. John chiming in here. That was crazy. I picked Gane over Pereira, but I never thought Gaethje would beat Ilia. I didn't either. I mean, again, you can always see upsets in fights, but like this was just one of those like exception to the rule fights. Like if you watch that Paddy Pimblett fight and you came away from it and you're like, yeah, Justin won the fight, but it was a bit sloppy, was it not? And you thought, again, you got Topuria who's got, really fast, got a lot of powers. I mean, there were some unknowns with Topuria as far as like, how did he do past like round 2 or round 3? Although he did go the distance with Josh Emmett, but there were some questions. There was also the layoff, a lot of other stuff. I'm not giving excuses for Topuria. I'm just saying going in, those were some unknowns. Listen, Topuria is pretty tough, pretty durable, but Gaethje, is more durable and more tough. And that's why he won this fight. He had more of a dog in him. Alex and Ilia, not going to say embarrassing, but they overlooked their opponents. How do you know that? Well, I mean, Topuria for sure overlooked his opponent. I mean, that goes without saying. You don't do a victory party the day before and say you're already winning the fight. I don't think Pereira overlooked Gane. What proof do you have of that, Jay? Currently shitting bricks after that fight. I'm so pissed I didn't even attempt to make a small bet on Justin. But that's what I'm saying. It reminds me of like DDP. I always bring up this example. Dricus du Plessis fights to a decision against Brad Tavares. Doesn't look that great. And you're thinking he's fighting Whitaker. You're thinking, I don't know if he's going to get past Whitaker. He finishes Whitaker early in the fight. How can you not finish Brad Tavares, but you finished Robert Whitaker? How does that make sense? Sometimes fighters just rise to the occasion and they look good. And that's what we saw in this fight. What a performance by Gaethje. I've never been happier for a fighter to be champ. That's fair. Topuria's lost his aura. First Hamzat, then Ilia. What is more 20? That's true. A lot of aura loss from some of these guys. I think you can say that was the greatest event of all time, right? It's got to be up there. For sure. Thought that was super impressive. People got to work tomorrow. They're doing the 4th of July show at 1:30 in the morning. That's true. I feel bad for people on the East Coast. Here in Vancouver, it's only 10:30. Ilia wasn't ready for the power. No, I just think I wouldn't say the power. I don't think he was ready for the durability of Justin. I think Topuria just thought it was going to be like all of his other opponents. He was going to take him out easy. And you got to remember, Gaethje is a tough out for anyone. Are we going to see Hoka become champion? No, not after that performance. I mean, again, he just that spoke more about Lewis's decline than it did about Hoka's abilities. Evening, James, after 1 a.m., so I probably won't last through the full stream. I'm not going the full hour tonight, that's for sure. I'm not going to stay in here for an hour unless we get enough questions, but really glad Justin finally got his undisputed title. Wanted him to win, but didn't expect it to actually happen. I think a lot of Americans feel that way. We got a donation here. Does this prove that Ilia just beat Wash champions and was overhyped? Max Holloway wasn't a Wash champion. Alex Volkanovski is not a Wash champion. You could say that the Oliveira win, maybe you overhyped that a little bit, but even then, Oliveira just beat Max Holloway. So I don't know. I'm not here for that argument. I think we got to give full marks to Justin Gaethje for this performance. He had a massive adrenaline dump in round 2. But he almost finished Gaethje in that round though. I think just the damage added up. Like I remember early on saying, Justin's landing a lot. Thought Gaethje wear and tear would be the downfall in this fight. I think Topuria will be a better fighter from this experience. Yep. You'd think, but I'll say this, Topuria's retirement plan's got to be delayed a little bit now with that loss. Charles Champion 26. We'll see what the F's Gaethje's hands made of. Put tons of marks on everyone's faces. That's true. Fair play to Gaethje, one of the biggest upsets in the sport. I agree. Do you think Topuria is overrated after losing to Gaethje? I don't think you can call him overrated. Okay, he's not overrated because the man won 2 belts and he knocked out Volk and he knocked out Holloway and he knocked out Oliveira, and those are all amazing wins. So he's not overrated from that standpoint. He's overrated in the invincibility standpoint. I think that's a fair take. Ilia came in too confident, marching forward, no caution, felt so out of character. No, but he's always done that. He fought the same. 6:20 a.m. in Nigeria, been awake since 2 a.m. Good for you. Alex looked rough, got pizza off, wasn't fast enough. I agree. Armin Gaethje and Armin will never get Ilia the title shot. I think Gaethje's just going to vacate the belt and retire, is he not? Or do you think he fights Armin? I don't know. It'll be interesting. Kopai Ilia fans saying he was poisoned. What? Where are you seeing that? That can't be a real thing. Some people thought Ilia could win against Islam or Khabib. Well, I mean, he's still got the dangerous knockout power. I don't think this fight just means that Ilia can't beat Islam or any of these other guys. Like, you know, MMA math doesn't work that way. I'll throw it the same way at you. Same fans that were supporting Khabib and Islam thought that Chimaev was going to rip Strickland's head off in the first round, and that didn't happen. And now it's all about the weight cut. The amount of when trash talk goes wrong videos are going to come up is going to be massive. I agree. If you were Alex, would you retire? No, because I think there's fights he can win at heavyweight. Fight Josh Hokett and then retire. I don't know. Topuria's cutting Gaethje's liver in half of those body punches in round 2. Just 2 more might have ended the fight. Gaethje earned that. Topuria fought a dumb fight. I'll say it again. I think Topuria is going to look back on that second round and go, he gave that fight away. I think he could have won that fight in the second round. Missed the card. Congrats to Gaethje. Ilia was way too arrogant. That's fail. Alex looked like a corpse. That's true. Best card I've ever seen in my life. Can't disagree with that. Difficult predicts which fight happens next. We get Topuria will need some time to recover. Maybe Gaethje Armin at the end of the year. I mean, does Gaethje fight again though? Why not just retire on top? If Gaethje does retire, then you do Armin and Oliveira for the vacant title. If Gaethje doesn't retire, then he fights Armin, obviously. Garcia's chin's a problem. He's a glass cannon. What? How's Garcia have a glass chin? Because he got knocked out by Diego Lopez? He got to win on a 7-fight win streak. No one knocked him out in that. There hasn't been a better card than this. If so, make it better. I mean, UFC 205 with McGregor and Alvarez, that was pretty incredible. That card's top to bottom was pretty stacked. It's up there, though. I mean, I'd have to go back and look at other cards. Do you think there's any chance Alex considers retirement? I wouldn't put it past him. Do you think Luke Thomas is pissed that nothing happened during this card? No, he's pissed that there was a bunch of political stuff tonight. Well, actually, it wasn't even political stuff, but there was just like, here's the thing. Like, any American, you should be proud of your heritage. You should be proud of the stuff that they promoted tonight, the military, all that stuff. They're going to talk about that being too political and whine about it for the next week. And that's silly in my opinion. I thought it was great. I'm not American, but be proud of your country and its roots and all that stuff. If we did a Canadian card at Parliament, I'd want to hear about like all the great accomplishments of Canadians. Whose resume is more impressive this year so far? Gaethje would be Paddy Ilia or Strickland would be Fluffy Hamzat? I don't know. It's hard to compare. I think they're equally impressive. I think Ulberg could beat Alex too. He also is very elusive like Gane. No, let's not get too far ahead there. The weight class was a big reason why Pereira lost this fight. Like, I think if Pereira fought Ulberg, I think he probably beats him, but we'll see. Pereira Hokett as a co-main for a numbered event would be sweet. Pereira's going to take some time off. Since Bo's 30 already, do you think he'd be top 5 by like 32? Possible. Honestly, this event delivered. What an event. Gaethje fights well against short guys. That's true. 2-0 now in a main event. Upset picks now. Strickland and then Justin. Sure. But let's talk about all the picks you got wrong, Jay. If we're going to be transparent here. What's next for Ilia? Time off, and here's what you do. I think Benoit Saint Denis is going to beat Paddy Pimblett. Paddy, Ilia, finally later this year, that's going to happen. That's the fight. Gaethje should 100% retire. He's 38 years old. I agree. I felt like Justin was the hardest hitter he'd ever faced. Yeah, probably. Yeah, he probably hits harder than anyone he's fought. Can't recall the last time an event in which all fights ended in KO TKO. That's true. Well, doctor stoppage KO, but yes, fair enough. Armin's friend put 1 million in Ilia. How much did he cash out? I don't think he bet $1 million. I think that was fake. I don't think you can bet $1 million on a fight on an app like that. I think you actually have to go to the counter. Someone's manager looked very happy. Just say Ali. Who cares? Yeah, he did look very happy. He should be. He said that Justin was going to win. He, talked a bunch before the fight. Now he looks like a genius. Lewis looked out of shape and gave up again. No, he's just old. Made some money. That's great, Jay. You can stop rubbing it in. Might be fight of the year. Would have to be. Ilia underestimated his toughness. I would agree. Why do you think no one can leave a mark on Gaethje's face? It's so weird. I feel like Gaethje has been busted up in fights. No? Has he not? I don't know. Gaethje's size was the difference. Well, that and Ilia standing in front of Gaethje for the first 2 rounds thinking he KO him, but found out that size matters. I don't think it was the size. It was the durability. He almost, again, did we watch the same fight? Ilia almost finished Gaethje in that second round. We can't just, don't do this revisionist history of where, Ilia didn't do anything in this fight. He did. There were chances to win, but Gaethje's durability in his overall game was the reason that he won. Gaethje doesn't retire. It should be Armin next. Well, it's Armin next regardless. Ian Gary shocks the world against Islam. Sure. Don't think that'll happen. Kyle looks slow, looks timid, stiff. Yeah, I'll agree with that. Where do you rank this in all-time upsets? I still think Sarah GSP was the biggest one. Actually, Pena Nunes might be the biggest one. Then Sarah GSP. I'd probably put this number 3. It's close for sure. Did you curse Ilia with that video? I still think I'm in another universe. What video did I curse Ilia in? Which video are you talking about? Who had the most aura loss, Khamzat, Ilia, or Pereira? I mean, this was like an actual beat. It's Ilia for sure. It's Ilia for sure. Because Khamzat lost, but people thought he could have won that fight. Ilia, like, he got completely battered up. Such an exciting fight. Justin is a dog. Islam was the last one left. That's true. Well, Islam's lost before, though, to be fair. And it was a fluke, but who cares? He's still lost. He's got one loss on his resume. 2 American champs. That's true. Gane and Gaethje will get their flowers. I'm sure they will. Volk just came after the head kick KO. Okay, but still, like, first knockout loss for Volk at featherweight. That's still impressive. Ring rust? No. It was, I mean, could have been a factor, but he just underestimated Gaethje. You think Sean has a chance against Peter in the rematch? Sure. Ilia versus who next? Patty, I just mentioned it. Volk return early. Now I believe Ian Gary can beat Islam. I mean, that's just, I don't think this fight has anything to do with Gary and Islam. I agree with you, James. People can't have a minus 500 guy and take it from him. The real tragic part is we won't get Ilia, Islam, or Arman. I don't think we were ever going to get Ilia and Islam. Islam wasn't coming to 55. I don't think the UFC was going to let Topuria go up to 170. I don't think that was ever happening. Imagine what Arman would do to Ilia. Yeah, I mean, again, I think styles make fights. Like, again, is Arman a dog like Gaethje is? I don't know. We'll have to see. Did Pereira take the worst punishment of all of his UFC fights? Yes. This was much different than the Adesanya fight. Because remember, that Adesanya fight that he lost, he almost knocked out Adesanya in that fight in the process. For me, I think the fans that make the aura stuff up, these guys are human beings. At the end of the day, anyone can get hurt. Well, no, Topuria, again, is having like parties, you know, before the fight saying that he's like, you know, going to be like winning the fight already, that stuff. Last month's been insane with upsets for Strickland. Now this, I agree. Do Gaethje do Bronx too? I'd be fine with that. No, they got to do Arman next. Enough of this other stuff. They got to do Arman next. Arman already has a win over Oliveira too. Arman's going to troll Ilia really bad. I agree. What's up? Been busy with work because I've been very busy at the restaurant. Hope all is well with you. Everything is good. Sorry about the voice. I've been coaching hockey for my 8-year-old, but hopefully it'll be better here soon. Best card of the decade. Again, Jay, you've not watched every card. It's up there. I'd be willing to have that argument, but again, 205 was good. UFC 300 was good. There's been a lot of good cards. Did you think Khabib was ever going to lose? No, but I would argue that Khabib should have stayed around a little bit longer. I think John and Khabib are the most dominant fighters in UFC history. I wouldn't say that though, Antoine. I mean, there was a world that you could say Alexander Gustafsson almost beat John. Dominic Reyes almost beat John. It's a little bit different. Gaethje to retire, become a carpenter who doesn't own a hammer, uses his fist to pound nails, surely. Generally can't believe it. Believe it. What's a bigger upset, Strickland over Khamzat or Gaethje over Ilia? Gaethje over Ilia I'll pick because Gaethje actually like forced Ilia not to come out in the 5th round. Khamzat and Strickland went to a decision. It was close. Topuria took some career-altering damage. Totally agree. It was like watching him get beat to a pulp. Was still expecting the counterhook knockout that never came. Holy moly, what a fight. I agree. What's up, Gabriel? Alex has 7 fights left in his contract. Do you think the majority would be heavier? He's not fighting 7 fights. They did that so he doesn't go box or go fight in bare knuckle or something else. They're locking him down. He's not going to fight 7 more times. He's almost 40. Speaking of which, where's this Tyson Fury announcement? They have him at the card. It sounded like Dana was going to announce something. He didn't announce anything. So there we go. Gaethje was busted up in the Max fight. Yes, he was. Lopez out. Yeah, and Max beat Gaethje. Like, what weird universe are we in now? Like, Oliveira beats Holloway. Oliveira beats Gaethje. Right? Like, Topuria beats Oliveira. It's just so weird. Lopez Allen is a banger. That could work. What's next for Bo? Israel Adesanya, I think makes sense. Topuria will beat Islam. You guys shouldn't talk. You guys said that Chimaev, you're the same fan base that said Chimaev was going to destroy Strickland. So I wouldn't be gloating right now that Topuria lost because, again, stuff can happen in fights, right? No one thought Chimaev was going to lose to Strickland, and he did. I think Topuria was a little gassed in the 2nd round. That's why he went for the submission. He was, but I still think the better strategy was ground and pound. I don't know. Pavlovich, Holkett next. No, you do Pereira and Holkett next. Holkett, Volkov next. No, you do Pereira next. Cash in on these big fights. What does it mean for Charles? If Justin doesn't retire, UFC gives him a shot because they don't like Arman. They're going to give Arman the next shot. I'd be shocked if they didn't. So I'd be so mad at you, but turns out you were right. He wasn't that mad at me. He just unfollowed me on all social media posts. And then, yeah, I was right. I said he was going to knock him out and he did. It's my job to predict, to break down fights. Do you think Hulk got into Ilia and Alex's heads? No, not at all. 0% chance that happened. Probably the most unpredictable sport ever. I agree. Libtards are crying. Some of them are, I'm sure. Now the celebration Ilia had with Usyk before the fight is just funny. That's why you never do that stuff. That's bad sportsmanship. That's stuff I would never teach kids that I coach. Never do stuff like that. I thought that whole thing was lame. Eventually it's going to catch up to you. Conor beats Max. Conor JG in December. I don't think he's beating it. The anti-America communist libtards are crying. You already said that. What does Ilia do with that white rose he had for Gaethje? You'd have to ask him. I had it 2-2 or 3-1 Gaethje up until the finish. I think it was 3-1 Gaethje. Happy Cyril won. No contest. Little sausage thought he could beat Saryukin and Islam. What a fraud. He's not a fraud, guys. Like, he got overconfident in this fight. He lost. You can never take away the fact that Ilia won 2 belts. You can't take that away. And it's not like they're bad wins. Volk and Oliveira are 2 good wins. You can't call him a fraud check. You can call him overconfident and say overlook Gaethje, and it goes down as one of the biggest upsets in UFC history. We can have that. George St. Pierre is part of one of the biggest upsets in UFC history too. If people are going to call fraud check, you don't understand the sport at all. Like, Topuria lost fair and square today, but to call him a fraud check is just not, like, you just don't understand the sport. He won 2 belts. You can't take that away from him. They're always crying. Exactly. The parties are a little too arrogant. Vegas lost 2. If Conor beats Max, I wouldn't be surprised if they do Conor Ilia. They could. But again, I don't think Conor's fighting at 55 again. So would Ilia move up? I don't know. Izzy dropped and followed up. I don't know if Gon did as much damage. Gon did as much damage as Izzy did. Trust me. And more damage, I should say. Gaethje's the most exciting fighter of all time. Yes. Good night to you as well. Have a good night. Crazy. I agree. That Tyson Fury entrance was so weird. I agree. Patty's loss to Justin is looking so good right now. Different fight though, right? I still think Topuria would beat Patty. I'm more surprised that nothing happened weather-wise. That's true. Greatest underdog win. That or Sarah over GSP. That was just unreal. I think we have a Mac fight week next month. Big month. I agree. I don't know why you're saying that to me. I wasn't saying it was a guarantee that Topuria was going to win. So there we go. Can we agree now, James, that Hokit shenanigans gimmick has surpassed Colby's mumbling by a long shot? It hasn't. I don't think it has. Again, we're not going to get into this again. Colby in his prime was more popular than Josh Hokit is. That's a fact. I can go bring up numbers or whatever, but like Hokit's not getting the same notoriety that Colby did. It was completely different. I'm not going to go through this over and over again. Ilya's celebrating before the Volk bout. It caught up to him. I agree. People are going to trash Ilya and pretend he was never good just because he lost a fight. Of course. And that's newer fans. You know what? It might actually get Patty Ilya down the line. I think that happens. Wasn't a bad fight. Ilya just knows how to strike, but when he misses, he sucks. Doesn't suck. Again, this is from a casual fan right here who doesn't understand it. He nearly finished Gaethje in the second round, so I don't know what you're talking about. No one could have predicted this. You could have because it's MMA. Things happen, right? It's going to happen. Maybe I'll take the pre-fight press conference stuff way too much into account, but I truly thought Ilya got into his head. Didn't expect Justin to be the guy to take Ilya's O away. That's why we love this sport. Things are unpredictable. Sport makes no sense. I wouldn't be surprised if McGregor knocks out Max. It's been one of those weird years, hasn't it? Am I wrong about that? Right? Like you let me know, guys. Like it's been totally weird this year. It's just the fact that like Gaethje, like he battered Ilya here. Like it would be different if like Gaethje caught Ilya and you could say, oh, well, he got caught, right? But like, dude, do you guys remember that old game Doom? You know Doom. This is what Topuria's face looked like tonight. Okay? Low health. That's what I'm looking for. That's what friggin' Topuria's face looked like tonight. Right here. That was what his face looked like. It was battered. Looked like Hamburger Helper. Right? There's a total damage there. It is going to take it's going to take a lot off his career. What happened there? It was nuts. Holloway broke Gaethje's nose, which really affected him until Gaethje was fighting well, but got caught by a lucky kick. He did break his nose. I wouldn't say it's a lucky kick, man. You can't say a lot of stuff that Max does is lucky at all. Absolutely banger of a fight. I was on the edge of my seat. Also, Justin has a hell of a chin. Doom wrestled with diabolic. It's true, though. That's what his face looked like. Do you think these constant perfect uppercuts actually destroyed Ilya? It added up. Even the jabs added up too, right? Gaethje shocked the world. I admitted that I thought Topuria would KO him inside one round, but there were chaotic exchanges. Gaethje would have a chance. Of course, that's the correct take. Today is a glitch. No, it's MMA. It happens. That's why we love the sport. So many unpredictable things can happen, right? That's the beauty of the sport. All main events ended in upsets this year. Max, Charles, Elberg, Patty, Justin, Hamzat, Strickland, apart from Volk, of course. Even Bilal last week, I think, was favored, right? There's been a lot. That's true. Armin just won millions. I don't think he bet $1 million. Dude, I don't think you can just bet $1 million on an app like that. Top 3 card ever, easily. By the way, things are looking. Holkett is on pass to surpass Colby. Enough with this, dude. You keep going on about this. He might be on the way to surpass him, sure. When he's getting like, the type of notoriety that Colby did, when he's getting, 200,000 views on an interview that he does, then sure. But Holkett's not, it's not the same thing. Holkett's getting attention, but Colby got like actual like quotes and notoriety and won an interim title. There's so many different things. I think Holkett got into Topuria's head. I don't. That's a terrible take. Gaethje's coach understands boxing heavy styles like Ilia very well. Correct. I think coaching did play a role tonight. I will listen to that for sure. Ground and pound Gone was nasty. Totally. Gone looked, dare I say, Gone looked the best he's ever looked, other than maybe Aspinall. That was the best he's ever looked. Curious why Pokin decided to be at 251 when he said in the Helwani interview right after the announcement he wanted to be 235, 240. Think that would have been different. No, I think he bit off more than he could chew. I think Pereira, he's been incredible in this sport, but like moving up a third weight class is just very difficult. Very difficult. Ilia ending the fight on the chair was not on my bingo card. I agree. What's up, Billy? Think Cyril destroys Holkett. Yeah, I think he beats Holkett too. Holkett's not on that level yet. Again, people are going to talk about, wow, Josh Holkett looked amazing, but the reality is he fought a guy who should be retired at this point. I spoke more about Lewis than anything else. I'll give him the Blades win. That was more impressive in my opinion, but he didn't even finish that fight. That's all I'm saying. You never get anything like this in boxing. Rico Usyk was surpassing with nothing like this. I agree. Crazy night, totally. If Alex would have won, I would have won my parlay, but yes, I did have Justin on that parlay. Good for you. If you were Dana, who would you give the bonuses to? Give them to everyone. They were all finishes. Now what do you think about Ilia Islam? It was never going to happen anyways. I just explained why. They're not going to let Topuria move up, and they're not going to let Islam's not going to go back down to 155. And how do I think that fight goes? I think this fight has nothing to do with that. I think Topuria is still dangerous with his shots. It's a completely different fight. Could Islam take the punishment that Ilia put out tonight? It's styles make fights. I think Islam would probably just maul Topuria and hold him there and get ground and pound and do well. But like people thinking that like somehow that Ilia losing the way he did tonight against Justin somehow means that Islam destroys him. You don't understand the sport. This is why styles make fights. This is why, like, again, you can see Max Holloway beat Justin Gaethje, but then Gaethje loses to Oliveira. Like, it's just the way the sport goes sometimes. How do you see Hulk at Alex going? I could see Alex winning that fight. I could. I still think he can pack a bit. Holkett hasn't shown me yet that he's like elite. That's all I'm saying. Topuria got redness in the 30 seconds. That's true. I picked Gone to win. Manny made it look easy. I agree. The knee. Derek Lewis should retire. Totally. The last knee broke Ilia. It did. Josh Holkett, Sergey Pavlovich in China. He could do that fight, but again, if I'm the UFC, I do Pereira and Holkett. It's an easy fight that people will be into. It's getting stopped every fight. Who should Lopez fight next? You could do the Yair Rodriguez fight finally, but I don't know. Or you do him and Sterling. Got the main event, co-main event wrong, but I cashed out. I did as well. Islam fight means nothing. Ilia wanted 20 million. Well, I don't know about that, but yeah. Still can't believe Gaethje is the craziest upset in my opinion. Crazier than Juliana Pena. I still think Juliana Pena beating Nunes was like way bigger. Like there was no sign that Nunes was going to like lose the way she did. So this is why like we got to quit being so reactionary. Is it one of the biggest upsets of all time? Yes. Is it the biggest upset? No, I don't think so. Wasn't Lopez moving up to lightweight? They mentioned on the broadcast about him maybe moving up, but like, I don't know. We'll see. Why not just wait around a little bit? Volk's eventually going to retire. Is it me or something wrong with Ilia's left knee? Looked like he had surgery or something. No. Come on. Let's not do this. Let's not do the, I don't know, Ilia, the layoff. Maybe that was the reason he lost. Or like, oh, Ilia, maybe like, I don't know. Justin won fair and square. I didn't catch the game, but I saw they tied. Who do you think about Hulk? Who do you think wins Hulk at Pereira? I think Pereira could win. What's up, Izzy? Good to have you here late at night here. 1:48 your time, man. You're a soldier. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Again, appreciate you guys tuning in here. This is my recap show. Ask whatever you want, guys. Anything's on the table here. Happy to answer your questions. Crazy night of fights. So glad I did a watch along for this one. That was a lot of fun. Would never thought it would be this way. Me neither. Yeah, it was pretty nuts. I mean, okay, let's go over the card here. Like, Gaethje beating Ilia, sure. That was kind of insane. Gone beating Pereira, is it that surprising? I don't think so. I mean, just the way he beat him, I think was surprising. O'Malley knocking out Zahabi, I thought that was going to happen. Hoka beating Lewis, people thought that was going to happen. Easiest fight on the card right here, Rufy Chandler. Nickel beating Dawkins, I'll admit, I didn't think Nickel would like finish him like that, but that's good. And Lopez beating Garcia, again, coin flip fight. I think most of the results were predictable. It was just good that we got finishes. Good matchmaking, though. Very good matchmaking. Not making excuses and knee look weird. Okay, gotcha. Just making sure. Shout out to Rufy for proposing to his wife. I don't know if that's, I mean, it would have been better if his wife was in the cage, but that didn't happen. Ilia's had that scar on his knee just for age. Ilia's personality based on being unbeatable person came from another planet. Ilia was the GOAT discussion before this. Now I don't see how he could bounce back. We'll see. Took a lot out of him. Do you think John and Shelby cried watching this event in a dark room? Could be. Yeah. They missed out. Who's the top 3 most violent fighters in your opinion? Gaethje has to be one. Holloway has to be one. Rory McDonald has to be one. Ilia lost, get over it. He quit on the stool. I mean, I'm curious for this. Reinhard or Ritter quit on the stool too. He got a ton of shit for that. Tons of shit for that. Do you guys remember after he lost to Allen? That was another fight where he was the big favorite in that one. Is Ilia going to get the same thing? Or are we going to actually, he will get this shit from the Daggy fans for sure. They're going to go after him big time. Will the average UFC fan go after Ilia for that? I think that's debatable, but the Dagestani fans will for sure. They'll call him a fraud and all this stuff. People saying Justin needed a gun to beat Ilia. That's true. And people shouldn't overlook fights like that. Brilliant strategy by Gaethje moving the head and not marching forward like Oliveira did. True. I think they should put Armin Justin, Pavlovich Holkett, Lewis Blades, Topuria, Benoit Saint Denis. Okay, let's go back a little bit. Armin Justin. Yes, if Justin doesn't retire. If not, then you do Armin Oliveira. Pavlovich Holkett. No. Do Pereira. Pereira's the bigger fight. Let's do that fight. Do Pavlovich and, I don't know, Lewis Blades. I think Lewis should just retire. We don't need to see Derek Lewis fight again. Let's be honest here. Give Blades someone else. Topuria, Benoit Saint Denis. Benoit Saint Denis is fighting Patty, so no. Lopez Yair, sure. O'Malley Piotr. Murad probably deserves it. Do Gaethje Islam at 170? No, doesn't make sense. Justin pulled out what Diego Lopez backup would do to Ilia. How that fight would go, do you think? Hard to say. Different fighters. Lopez hasn't really had like a gutsy, like Gaethje type performance, so who knows? It's 9 a.m. here, awake since last morning. That's awesome. After what I saw today, I honestly think Rufy and Torres would beat Ilia. Come on, guys. Let's not get this crazy, okay? Come on. Ilia got beat, and there's some question marks, but he's still very dangerous. And let's not overlook the fact that Ilia almost beat Justin in that second round. Okay? Let's not do this whole, well, I think Manel Torres would beat Ilia. Why? Because, I mean, he might not be even next week or 2 weeks from now. Like, let's not get crazy here. Come on. All KOs, TKOs. That's true. I thought Zahabi finished to me. It was a bit early, but I don't think he was getting up. I'm late, but overall, everything up against this event. What would you put as one of the major events in MMA history? It's got to be at the top. Do you think Topuria gets a rematch after this? No, he won't get a rematch. There's a 0 chance Ilia beats Islam, not even at lightweight. I wouldn't say there's a 0 chance. I don't think because Ilia lost this fight, he automatically loses to Islam. I'm not in that camp. He's still got good power. He's still fast. It's always the knockout threat. Did Ritter quit because he was super exhausted? Yeah, but so was, Topuria. The point was neither could finish and come out for the last round. Do you think Justin winning the belt is the greatest feel moment in UFC history? Feel good moment. Sure. Did RDR's damage look like Ilia's? No. But I'm saying the point I'm making is this is how fans, if you want to get fans to turn on you, you got to do the following things. Miss weight by a lot. Not being able to continue in a fight. Talk a bunch of trash and then lose. These are all things that fans will like use against you. No, Mark Carney's not hosting it. I mean, come on, that's a silly question. You know that's not happening. I do not understand. Do you consider Islam so weak? Don't consider Islam weak at all. I never said anything even close to that. I'm just saying I don't think Topuria's loss to Gaethje tonight has anything to do with Topuria not being able to beat Islam. I would pick Islam in that fight. Anyways, I would pick him before this fight, but I'm not going to say just because he lost to Justin means he automatically loses to Islam. Beating Blades, who has way more experience than Holkett in a war, wasn't elite enough. Blades and Lewis have wins over Volkov as well. Yeah, I don't think that, again, though, you're coming off Blades off 2 knee surgeries. He's older. I don't think we're getting the Blades of old in that fight. They're older, not the same fighters that they used to be. Again, fight a Pavlovich or Volkov right now. We're in the prime right now. RDR got so much hate even on this chat. That's true. His corner didn't allow him to continue. I know, but that's my point, is that fans will still say that they quit, whether his corner allowed him to continue or not. RDR's corner did the same thing. Lewis should not fight anymore. I agree. Hate to be corny, but Justin had that American spirit. It's not corny. I think that's great. I think Tom and Pavlovich and Holkett's hardest fights were Gone and Volkov are suited better for his wrestling style. That's fair. Did you like hearing the Canadian anthem? I did. Surprised how everyone thought Gone was going to get knocked out. Happy for Gone. Well, that wouldn't have been a good take anyways. You were guessing that Pereira's power would translate to heavyweight. Justin Oliveira, Armin Ilia. No, they got to do Armin for that. GSP tapped to strikes and went on to become one of the GOATs. Correct. Lewis gave a lot to the sport. He's just old and slow. Looked like molasses. Ilia Armin should be the fight. No, Armin should get the title shot. Why are we doing this again? Give Armin the title shot. Yeah, again, I'm not going to keep answering these questions about Islam being weak. I didn't say anything of the sort. It's going to be Edmonton in October. I went to PFL Chicago 2 months ago, and I have to say Sean O'Connell and their head of production, Michael Stetz. Oh, I know Michael Stetz. At the pizza spot I manage, they're great dudes. I know Michael Stetz really well. He used to work in the media, in our media spot. He was a great dude. So I guess Habib, Malls, Ilia, that's obvious now. Sure. Gaethje should retire on top. I agree. Not going to lie, Ilia's grappling did not look good. I mean, but that could also be because he was tired. But yeah, he has more submission wins, right? Hate that they did this on Sunday night. I work at 4 a.m. tomorrow. I feel for you guys. His brother did the right decision calling the fight quits. I agree. He wasn't going to win that fight. Ilia could have forced Dana to pay $70 million for Islam booking. Hopefully Gaethje Islam takeaways $40 million. It's not. Let's do Charles Armin for the title and Paddy Ilia for the number one contender. Assuming Gaethje retires and vacates, yes. Now you don't get Ilia Islam. I don't think we were ever going to get it. Based on what I heard John Anik say, one person in Ilia's corner called off the fight. I'm sure he did. One loss. There isn't a single other sport where a player or athlete is judged on one singular night of performance. People saying Torres could beat Topuria got to stop. Golf clap. I couldn't agree more. But that's how fans are. And then every fan thinks they're an expert because they happen to watch one fight like we all did and then think, oh, Manel Torres is going to be like Topuria. Ridiculous. This was Rock in real life, no propaganda. I agree. What's the doc that wanted to stop the fight? I can't remember the guy's name. Strickland got arrested. He did. What's the biggest upset in the history in the sport? It's Sarah over GSP. Who's the number one contender to fight Volkov or Holkett? It's Volkov. They're never going to fight. Do you think the fight should have been stopped in round 3? Seemed to be controversy over the doctor. Could have been, yeah. But I think for a fight like that, you let it continue. Hottest fight to make right now, in my opinion, is what fight? Gaethje and Gone are 2 of my favorites. Deserve to finally win. Both are underdogs and overlooked. Absolute masterclass by both guys. Well, to be fair, the Gone and Pereira fight wasn't really it was like a pick'em. Which trilogy would you be more interested in? Whitaker and Adesanya, Pereira and Yuri? Pereira and Yuri. Thought O'Malley would have won anyways, but look how delayed the Alex stoppage was compared to Zahabi. No, you're right about that, for sure. Ilia did quit. He wants out on his audio. Does this version of Gone beat Tom? Yes. Michael Morales, Carlos Prates is the hottest fight to make right now. Sure. How about Topuria Chandler? No, you don't need to put... Chandler shouldn't be fighting anymore. Topuria would kill Chandler. Just because Topuria lost the way he did tonight, he would still kill Chandler. Come on, guys. No, Topuria, Paddy, if Paddy loses to Benoit Saint-Denis, that's the fight. Thoughts on Tyson Fury to not announce anything? Yeah, it was weird. What do you do with Oliveira? It's going to depend. Everything's going to depend on if Gaethje retires and how much time Ilia needs off. If Ilia didn't fight the rest of the year, I'd be okay with that. He took a lot of damage tonight. It'll be strange to see Ilia in a contender matchup if he chooses to fight in the UFC again. Oh, he'll fight again. I don't think he's going to retire off that. Who wins the number one contender fight, Volkov or Holkett? Probably Volkov. Did Amon disappoint Canada today? No. Someone put 160K on Justin Gaethje to beat Topuria. Pays out 824K. That's crazy. My most confident picks was O'Malley. My most confident was Roofy. That was Ilia in the second round grappling, not later in the fight. Correct. Why do you think we would have gotten Islam Ilia? Because I already explained that Islam is not coming down to 55. And I don't think the UFC would let Topuria move up another weight class. That's why the fight was never going to happen. Maybe Gaethje Charles 2 will be bigger, given that Charles has a BMF belt. The BMF belt doesn't mean much. You give Arman the title shot next. That's what you do. You don't mess around with that. Guys, Ilia still beats Torres, Rufy, and Lopez. Stop. I agree. Manel Torres, he could stump Topuria. No, he couldn't, dude. But why? Because he knocked out Grant Dawson? That all of a sudden, dude, Gaethje never knocked out Topuria tonight. Let's get clear about that. He couldn't continue, but he never knocked out Topuria. Why would Manel Torres, of all people, be able to do it? It's a crazy take. I don't know anyone says, I love Josh Hoka. Hater love the gimmick. He's on the rise to be a massive name in the division. I don't think he's a massive name. I think he's getting a lot of attention, but he's not going to be a superstar, I don't think. So I guess Ilia has cardio issues to slow down in the Emmett fight too. There we go. Gon gets too much. Where did Gon get hate? Sergey sparks Holkit. I don't know if he sparks him, but I would pick him. Need to catch Chandler, but they won't. What they did think would happen. You think ring rust played a factor? I don't think that's why he lost. I don't think it helped though either. That's my thoughts. Zahabi did better than I thought. He was winning. I thought he was winning. The leg kicks were landing. I think O'Malley won round 1. I think Zahabi was probably on his way to winning round 2, but we'll see. Islam will never go back to 55. He's busy eating tiramisu with Khabib. He shouldn't have to, though. Judging by what you saw tonight, how would Islam Ilia finish be? I think that, again, they're different fights, though. Like, Islam's not going to strike like Gaethje did with Ilia. At least that would be a dumb game plan. I think Islam's striking's good. It's definitely, improved a lot. I think Islam just controls Ilia with the wrestling and probably submits him in like round 3 or round 4. That's what I think would happen. But I would have said that before this fight too. For the guys that don't know, it's the corner stoppage is not a TKO. Yes, it is. It's a TKO retirement. It literally says it on Tapology right now. KO TKO retirement. Not more clear than that. What's up? You could see Gon look meaner when he walked out to the cage. That he did. Didn't Bilal guy beat Torres? No, we're talking about Manel Torres. What? Oh, Bilal guy beat Torres. Yes, Bahamodes. That's right. Gon call for September in Paris. Thoughts? I don't know if Aspinall will be ready. So maybe they do have to give Volkov or Pavlovich, one of these guys, the fight with Gon. You still think Ty will be cut? No. Picking Fiziev, but Torres is a problem. That's fair. Tom doesn't return and they promote Gon to undisputed. Would you give the shot to Volkov or Pavlovich? I think either are deserving. I don't think you can go wrong either way. Who should Zahabi fight next? He'll fight on the Edmonton card in October. By the way, it's not 100% official, but that's what I heard. They're going back to Edmonton. Who would you do Zahabi against? I would do him against maybe the loser Batista Sanhagen. How much you think the out of cage stuff affected Ilia? I think Justin Gaethje won the psychological battle. I don't. I think just Gaethje had a good game plan. He attacked him well. Topuria didn't get that quick finish, and if you can't get the quick finish, you're in for a long night. Here's the thing. Justin took Ilia down and stuffed Ilia's takedowns. That he did. But Ilia was credited with the takedown, though, in the fight. He got 1 takedown of 3 attempts. When it's stated as TKO retirement, does that mean the fighter verbally stated retirement? They just call it a TKO. They've always done that. Jesus punishes people who have pride and ego. It's a major sin. Thanks, Priest. I don't have any intel on Imovov's next fight. Bahamodes beat Torres. That's right. They mocked America. Now America has 3 champions. Joshua Van, Sean Strickland, and now Gaethje. That's true. I'm over Fiziev. He's past his prime, but he stands there and faints. I think Torres beats him. Zahabi Talbot. No, they're not going to do that fight. They might, but I think Talbot's going to get a bigger name than Zahabi. We'll see. Who should Mike Malott fight next? Leon Edwards. Gon Jones 2 outlook. 0% chance that happens. John Jones isn't coming back. He's done. Again, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Let's do a couple more minutes here, guys. Don't think we have many questions left, but we'll see. If you got your questions, get them in. I'll answer them. Got a little bit of time. I still got to do the stock report. Let me know your thoughts, everyone. Man, imagine going from this to, what is the card? We got Horiguchi and Kopp next week. That'll be a good fight, but womp, back in the Apex next week. Rip Olive Tree. Don't know what that means. Who should Lopez fight next? Sterling or Yair Rodriguez? Zahabi is 38. Why is he in there? I told you the fight was strategic by the UFC to make O'Malley look good. Swear they were hyping up Conor and Max like they were playing ads through. Why is he even returning? The game has passed him by. Because he's the biggest superstar in UFC history. Even if he's got nothing left, UFC's got to squeeze whatever they can out of him. What was your favorite John Jones fight? The Gustafsson fight. Ilia's head movement was non-existent. Wasn't the best tonight, no. Didn't think Alex would be slower than Gone, I agree. How do you think McGregor does? I think he does better than people think, but ultimately still loses. Will Ilia rise back, fluctuate, or go downhill after one loss? I think he'll rise back. He strikes me as a pretty smart guy who will make the right adjustments. I think Alex will stay a heavyweight. Jourdain's a hobby. Probably not. They're two Canadians. Did Armin win his $1 million bet? No idea. Do you think O'Malley gets a title shot? Yes. I think that's what happens. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Let me know what's on your mind. What if Conor beats Max? I mean, nothing's off the table now. The way this year's gone wouldn't shock me. Can you imagine Conor knocking out Max? Yes, a lot of people told me I look like Dean Ambrose and Ryan Bader and the hockey player Jonathan Huberdeau. I don't know. He took the beating that he did. It's not just physical. Yeah, but I just think Justin had a very good game plan. Did Conor pop for PEDs recently? Could have sworn it's not something like that. Apparently he took PEDs after the Poirier injury. Alex Joss a possibility. I hope so. Pavlovic Holkett. Could happen. Jan O'Malley too. Could happen. The Gone finish was something. Looked great. John Jones still under contract with the UFC. There we go. Rip Ilia's ribs. I agree. Conor wins against Max. Conor Islam. Probably Conor Topuria. I don't know. We'll see. Ilia didn't have his typical rhythm, step, and head movement. Not sure what he was thinking about the leg kick. Weird walking down straight in round one like that. I agree. Looked a little bit different. Who's really Canadian? Jordan Zahabi sells itself. I don't think they'd fight each other, though. They're buddies. Oh, they also... I know Jourdain cross-trains a little bit at TriStar, I think, too. So I don't think they'll ever fight each other. I like Goldberg. Do you think Pereira will move back down to 205? No. These unks are ruining the UFC. That's true. Did Ilia go to the hospital? I would imagine so. Never seen both Pereira and Topuria face that much damage. Obviously, Topuria's was much worse. I agree. How have you been? I've been good. Yeah, just busy. Got a new cat. The cat was on the stream earlier. What else has been new? Been coaching hockey. That's why my voice isn't very good. Life's good, though. I'm blessed. Gaethje's the biggest stock riser on this card. No question about it. That will be hard for Ilia to swallow. I agree. Would you rather see Ilia or Armin fight Justin next? Armin. Do you think Justin could have been champion if he had fought smarter? Earlier? Maybe. I'm not getting it. I don't own a newer system. What are your thoughts on Gone doing back the headshots? It was a little bit suspect. I saw someone slow down the video. It did look a little odd. It looked close. Yeah, Ilia's the biggest stock dropper. Spoiler alert on my stock report. There's no question about it that Ilia's the biggest stock dropper. Why do you think so many upsets are happening since Aspinall gone? It's the sport, man. It's so unpredictable. Ilia went straight to a cosmetic surgeon for reconstruction, probably. Dana White says the history of the UFC, they never had a serious injury or death. Would you agree that Silva's and Weidman's leg breaks now classifies as a serious injury? Yes. Love the comments from I don't know what you're talking about. Those who say it was a fixed fight is clear talking nonsense. Nothing was fixed tonight. How good is Khabib? Very good, but it has nothing to do with tonight's fights. Does Ilia beat Armin? I still think there's a world where Ilia could beat Armin, but I think even prior to tonight, I was taking Armin. Do you think Justin becomes number 2 pound for pound? Probably. He could. Pereira's first time tasting heavyweight power in a real fight. That's true. MMA is the greatest sport in the world. I agree. What video game are you playing at the moment? What was I playing the other day? I was playing Super Mario Strikers on the GameCube. I play old stuff. I'm still trying to beat Crash Bandicoot on the original PlayStation. Yeah, a lot of different stuff. Clearly, UFC didn't do the production for this show. They didn't make that. No, they did. They just put in more effort because it's the White House. Good thing is, division is wide open at 155. I agree. Again, guys, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Got a lot of viewers in here tonight. We got 160 people watching, so get your questions in. Shows that Khabib is a different level. He dominates every lightweight live except for maybe Islam. It has nothing to do with tonight at all. You're saying because Topuria lost? Khabib hangs around long enough, he might lose to someone, right? Like, again, Khabib did not have a long title reign. So it's hard to say that, like, Khabib's the greatest guy ever because he bounced. What if Topuria bounced after the Oliveira win? We could have said the same thing. I think it's kind of like, I don't know, nitpicking if we're going to talk about how great Khabib is, right? Like with Topuria losing, sure, it does help Khabib's legacy, but I don't know. It's a little bit tough. Khabib Gaethje 2. He's not coming back. Just saw the video of Ilia hiding his face when going backstage. Think he didn't expect to be like this. Of course not. Who goes into a fight thinking their face is going to look like Hamburger Helper? Masvidal said Ilia was going to retire Gaethje. Well, Gaethje was going to retire. Does Justin beat Arman? He could. Gaethje pound for pound is on pound for pound number one. I agree. Nothing is fixed except Mike Malott and O'Malley's fight opponents. That's true. Arman can't strike. Yes, he can strike. Do you want to cover this event, and what would you consider covering the McGregor card? I could have covered this event, but I chose not to, and I am covering the McGregor card. I'll be there next month. Did they charge money for attendance? I'm not sure. Khabib's wrestling is clearly too good for these lightweights. Possibly. When do you think they'll announce the Philly fight? Hopefully this week. What's Alex's path to the belt if he doesn't retire? He probably needs a fight or two. Watch Colby try to fight. He won't. Do you think Gaethje fights the winner of Conor versus Holloway? No. It's at 170. Khabib was still beating Islam in training. That's true. How many more fights does Islam have next? Probably 4. Islam's mentality is shot. Could be. He's not going to be doing those dinners anymore. That's for sure. Just improves experience can beat talent. That's true. Opinion on Sean's tantrum, and were you in Dana's shoes? How would you deal with him? I don't think they're going to care. I think he tried to go to the event. He got escorted out. I think it's a non-story. Masvidal will be one salty guy probably. Any news on Islam? Ian, nothing. Just like GSP says, the better fighter doesn't always win. No one is beatable. Pomzat and Ilia fights have shown anything. It's at Khabib, and anybody would have lost if they stayed. That's true. Based on what you say, Kamavsar beat Ilia at featherweight. Yes, I thought he could have before this. We will not see Mark Elon. Gaethje's drink, Ilia's milkshake. Weird analogy. I'll say this, every fight is different, and quality fighters are quality fighters. Some are better stylistic matchups for others. Probably is salty. Goddard slipped up tonight. How so? Does Conor fight 5 rounds? I believe it is. What's next for Ilia? Time off and probably fighting the loser of BSD, Patty. What's your fight of the year so far? Hulk at Blades or Gaethje Ilia? Hulk at Blades. Damn it, this is going to be one of those nights I can't sleep because of these nights. Yeah, I'm going to have to take a sleep gummy after this. Who's next for Gaethje? Arman. He should be, yes. Let's get a couple more questions. Love how everyone is dissing people who picked Ilia. Let's not go. No one expected this to happen. There will be, but this is one of those cases where people want to say, I told you so, and they outright pick Gaethje. I'll give them their flowers. But it's not a told you so if like Gon beat Pereira, because that fight was like a pick 'em. Who cares? Neither Hamzat or Ilia is Khabib. No lightweight got Strickland. Get up game. I don't know. Hard to say. Khabib bounced a little bit early. Charles beat Gaethje. KO'd Charles. Gaethje made Ilia quit on the stool. Styles make fights. Should have not let it go another round, especially when the doc said he was done. I agree. Do you think Patty can beat Ilia after tonight? No. Arman would wreck Ilia. Don't know about that. Styles make fights. I don't think Movsar could have beat Ilia, but now I lean Movsar. Who'd you pick between Josh and Volkov? Volkov. That's right. Do Patty versus Ilia. Saw you're in Plymouth, Massachusetts for Cage Titans. I'm from there. Hope you enjoyed the local scene. Yeah, I'll be there again next month. I'm going for the next Cage Titans card, so I'll be there a week after UFC 329. I basically come home from the McGregor event. I'm there from Monday till Wednesday, and then I leave Thursday for Cage Titans. Ilia got robbed. Terrible take. Come on, dude. You got to troll better than that. Who's getting the last question? We're not going to end on that. Who's going to get the last question? Then I'm getting out of here. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? Come on. Who's getting the last question? Bueller. Who's getting the last question? As much as this was an amazing fight from Justin, I really believe the pressure on fighters like Ilia and Hamzat is too much. There's always pressure. That's part of the gig. That's not why Ilia lost tonight, though. A lot of fans think if you predicted a fighter to win, you were rooting for that fighter. Yeah, which is not true at all. Gaethje retires. Who do you think will fight for the belt? Arman versus Charles, the rematch. Volkov should have been fighting today. Against who? Swear Ilia better not retire. He's not going to retire. What's up, bro? Haven't caught you live in a while. Appreciate you tuning in, my friend. Always love the support. Who would limb, Volkov or Alex? Probably Volkov. Let's get one more here. Then we'll get out of here. Good show, though, guys. Really good show. Again, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Got one more here. Who's getting the last one? And I missed Carolina winning the Stanley Cup. Every fighter has pressure. Justin just had more. Does Aspinall rematch with Gon happen? Depends if he's cleared to fight or not. Really underestimated Gaethje the way he came out in pace and guard. That's fair. How does Ian Gary fit into all this? Hopefully he's fighting Islam. Gaethje should retire with the win. Go out on high. Totally agree. Who's the next featherweight champ? Could be Movsar. I think he could beat Volk. We'll see. Gave you a like for the fine trolling. I appreciate that. Now, how do you feel about Jones Aspinall? It's never going to happen, so don't even worry about it. All right, guys, good time to end the stream here today. Appreciate all of you guys tuning in. I'll be back Monday, tomorrow, previewing Manel Kopp and Horiguchi. Same time, 12 Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific time. This was a really fun stream. And also shout out to all the people that watched the watch along today. You guys can get my reaction to all the fights. I did a whole watch along here tonight. You can catch up on it. It was about 4 hours. I'm going to go do the stock report right now. Hope you guys have a great evening, night, morning, wherever you guys are. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning in a couple hours. Hope you guys are well. I'll talk to you guys soon. And thanks so much for watching.